Hi, Mr. Loader here. Wanted to talk to you about the English lesson for Friday the 22nd of January 2021. Our WALT is to edit and improve our story. So this week, of course, we've been writing our own picture book story. We should now be finished, shouldn't we? And we wrote the beginning on Tuesday, middle on Wednesday, and the ending yesterday on Thursday. So to start off with, because of course there were picture book stories, we've done the writing. What you might want to do now is for each section, draw illustrations for your story. So think carefully about what the most important parts or what the most important part is in each of those sections you feel, and you could draw a picture to go with those. Okay, on this slide, there are some examples of what the illustrations were from the book. Okay. Now the next thing, what things can we improve within our writing then? So this is the part where we're going to edit and improve our writing. So you might just want to pause the video and talk to someone about what things could you improve within your writing. Okay, so these are some of the things. Checking we have capitals in the correct place. Checking that we have full stops in the correct place. That's a bit of a funny thing there, isn't there? Because there isn't a full stop at the end. Improving the language that we use. So could we add in more adjectives, adding in language to improve the description? Again, it links to adjectives, doesn't it? But also within that, thinking about adding in further description, but we have all said all week, and I'm going to add this one on, adding in detail. That is really important too, okay? And we thought about where, when, why, maybe, what, okay, how. If you keep on asking yourself those questions, then it will help you to improve your writing. Just add in more detail to make it more interesting for the reader. So if you have a look at this, Jim saw a beanstalk out of his window. He climbed up it. It took him a long time to climb it. When he got to the top, he saw a castle. He went and knocked on the big door. A giant opened the door. Okay, now hopefully you can hear that from me reading it, that some places we're missing a full stop, aren't we? So it was me rushing through because there was no pauses for me. So Jim saw a beanstalk out of his window. Well, that first sentence is quite good actually, because it says where he saw it. So I'm going to put a full stop after window. Okay. So let's look at the first sentence again now. So Jim saw a beanstalk out of his window. Now, there are two nouns in that sentence, beanstalk and window. So we could at least describe one of them. So we could use a massive green beanstalk. Hopefully you've remembered that is an expanded noun phrase. Okay, now we've got a full stop and we need a capital letter, don't we? He climbed up it. Now, could we add in some more detail here? Now we've got to think of those questions, haven't we? Where, when, why, what, how. So we could say he didn't just climb out. Did he reach out of his window? Did he rush out to his house? Was the beanstalk just there so he could reach out the window? So I'm going to do, he reached out of his window to grab hold of the beanstalk, the giant beanstalk. Then we're using an adjective, and started to climb up it. Oh, and I like this here. Look, it says it took him a long time to climb it. Okay. Now that would be the end of that idea, wouldn't it? I'd have to pause there. It took him a long time to climb it. When he got to the top, he saw a castle. So I'm going to put, it took him a long time to climb it. And we could add a bit more detail. How did he feel? And he felt exhausted by the time he reached the top. Okay. So that probably doesn't flow so well now, does it, with the next sentence? When he got to the top, he saw a castle. So we could just say, after reaching the top, he saw a castle. Now again, let's look at this sentence. The castle is the noun. We could use an adjective, couldn't we? A magnificent. I'm going to use comma because I'm going to use an extra adjective, stone castle. After reaching the top, he saw a magnificent stone castle. Can we say anything more about it? That had a moat around it, or had a drawbridge leading to the front door. All these things are adding in. It makes it more interesting for the reader, doesn't it? So I'm just going to have to move my screen. He went and knocked on the door, big door. A giant opened it. Right, again, so you can see there, I did actually pause, didn't I? So he went. Instead of went, could we use rushed? Use a different verb. He rushed and knocked on the big door. Now we could say a bit about how he rushed. He rushed in excitement and knocked on. Now, is there a better word than big? Knocked on the large. Use wooden door. Right, a giant opened the door. Could we have suddenly? Or we could have, how about this? Because then it says a bit about Jim's reaction. To Jim's horror, and then it would be a little bit of a pause there. So I'm going to put a comma. A giant opened the door. Could we have a word to describe the giant? Strange, mysterious. Scary, I think, isn't it? Because Jim's going to be worried about meeting him. He's never seen him before. A scary giant opened the door. Okay. So I know I've just edited what I had. You may wish to take what you had and pick a section and then improve it. Okay. Once you've finished your editing and improving, you might want to just discuss these questions with a partner or adult. Okay. Thinking about the story you wrote. The story was entertaining because, now this is normally for a partner, so your adult might want to help you with this. I loved how they use, so your adult might tell you this. The word choices were and why. Next time they should try to, so next time you should try to. I would recommend this story for. Who would you recommend the story for? This story is worth how much out of 5 and why would be good, wouldn't it? Say why. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope you found that really helpful. I look forward to seeing your work.